So Donald Trump sent JD Vance out to do a little bit of damage control after an NPR story broke this morning claiming that Trump's staffers assaulted a worker at Arlington National Cemetery on Monday during a photo shoot that Trump was taking with fallen soldiers and their family members. And JD Vance today had to run defense for this, and he did it in the worst way possible. He only dug his own grave further, as he does every single time he opens his mouth. Before I break this down, just yesterday we got a new leaked clip of JD Vance attacking childless teachers in newly resurfaced remarks. What is it with JD Vance and childless people? He really does not stop, whether it's childless cat ladies, childless teachers. There is some deep misogyny hidden in this little man. JD Vance, the Republican VP candidate and U.S. Senator from Ohio, attacked teachers who do not have children in newly resurfaced remarks from 2021. In the resurfaced clip, Vance, who was speaking at a forum held by the Center for Christian Virtue, attacked leaders on the left. In the clip, he says, "I don't want to get personal," but then he proceeds to get incredibly personal. JD Vance really does like attacking his political opponents. Here's the clip of JD Vance saying that the media is hyping up the altercation at the cemetery, but notice, JD Vance is the one who uses the word altercation. He calls it an altercation.
Well, I think, first of all, the altercation at Arlington Cemetery is the media creating a story where I really don't think that there is one. There is verifiable evidence. There is verifiable evidence that the campaign was allowed to have a photographer there. There's verifiable, they were invited to have a photographer there. There's verifiable evidence that the families of these poor people who had their loved ones die 3 years ago at Abbey Road, Abbey Gate, those 13 Americans, a lot of them were there with the president. They invited him to be there and to support them. That's not an insult to the memories of their loved ones. They wanted Donald Trump there, and thank God that we have a president who stands with our veterans instead of one who runs away from them.
Did he say Abbey Road? Isn't that the name of a Beatles album? Number one. And number two, so JD Vance isn't even disputing the fact that an altercation happened, that a Trump staffer assaulted some worker at Arlington National Cemetery. What he's disputing is whether or not that worker, that staffer at the Trump campaign, was justified in attacking the worker. He says that we had confirmation we could take photos in this section of the cemetery, and if you guys don't know what happened, apparently a Trump staffer was trying to get in to take photos. A worker at the cemetery said, you can't enter this area, it is federally prohibited, and the Trump staffer assaulted that worker at Arlington National Cemetery. Now JD Vance is running defense for the Trump staffer, saying that they did have access, not even denying that the altercation happened in the first place. I'm surprised he didn't go full Trumpian mode and say, we were never even at the cemetery, we don't even know the people you're talking about. That's what Donald Trump would do. If you wanted to really take a page from Donald Trump's book, you just deny that you were ever even there at all.
Now it is amazing to me that you have apparently somebody at Arlington Cemetery, some staff member, had a little disagreement with somebody, and the media has turned this into a national news story. You know what I think our veterans care a lot more about?
Really quickly, he calls it a little disagreement, but just a minute earlier, he called it an altercation.
That Kamala Harris's VP nominee lied about his military service.
They're still doing this. They are still attacking Tim Walz on his military record. Tim Walz served 24 years. That was longer than JD Vance had even been alive when JD Vance stopped serving. He was 23 or 24 years old. Here is the crowd booing a CNN reporter. This is another example of their authoritarian attacks on the media. Donald Trump, JD Vance, all of the MAGA sycophants around them only exist to sow distrust and undermine the media, the institutions that hold our politicians accountable. Fixing
yes,
his
sir,
hair.
I would love to go fishing.
Is this dude really fixing his hair on stage? Watch.
Yes, sir, I would love to go fishing.
Hi, Senator.
You have to bring about 40 Secret Service agents now, though. That's the problem. Ma'am.
Hi, Senator. Kit Maher, CNN. I wanted to talk a little bit.
She's literally just doing her job. Literally just doing her job. I've been to Trump rallies before, and ever since the assassination attempt, they have been more and more wild. I mean, after Donald Trump was almost assassinated, the Trump supporters in the crowd began to yell and throw stuff at the media present at that rally, saying it's your fault. But now the crowd is booing CNN, and I know it's a little bit terrifying. And you know, I'm going to be 100% honest. I think JD Vance really, really deep down wants to be liked and wants to be a nice guy. So I think he wanted to say something here like, guys, don't boo, don't boo. But he knows that he has to let the MAGA crowd do their thing. I've seen JD Vance try to be awkwardly nice before, and I feel like he would have done that if he wasn't beholden by the MAGA crowd.
Hi, Senator. Kit Maher, CNN. I wanted to talk a little bit. Thanks, Senator, for taking my question.
I mean, yeah, that is just absolutely embarrassing. The media exists to hold politicians accountable, but if you're JD Vance and Donald Trump, you don't want to be held accountable at all because you also get stories posted like this. In a post on X, Weingarten responded to Vance's resurfaced comments about childless teachers, calling them gross and adding that the remarks are sad and insulting to millions of modern families and school teachers, including Catholic nuns, none of whom should be targeted for their family decisions. And now JD Vance is trying to whitewash his comments and say that he wasn't talking about people like nuns or people who are not fertile. He was only talking about people who decide not to have children, which doesn't even make any sense at all. This clip right here is rich. Sean Hannity is about to accuse ABC News and Rachel Scott in particular of not being real journalists because they actually try to hold Trump accountable for stuff he has said in the past. I mean, the irony is just too rich right here.
Take a look at this. Ask yourself, does this sound like journalism or a talk show host?
Keep in mind, everything said here is true.
Addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you.
I'm sorry to cut her off. You guys have seen this clip already, but this is actual journalism. I mean, this clip had more facts in 45 seconds than the Fox News program has over the entire year, over the entire decade. This clip is full of stuff that Donald Trump has actually said, and Sean Hannity is mad that Rachel Scott is actually trying to hold him accountable for stuff he has said in the past. But I hope I've proven you throughout this video that the MAGA movement is full of wannabe victims, whether it's JD Vance, whether it's Donald Trump or Sean Hannity. They want to play victim. I mean, we actually have a MAGA staffer who assaulted a worker at Arlington National Cemetery, and now they're trying to say that they are victims of a media spin show. I mean, Donald Trump was right when he said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue, and I think they would play victim. I think Donald Trump would try to play victim in that scenario and say the radical left doesn't want me shooting people on the Fifth Avenue. Okay, either way, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.